Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you got to hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse. I do it before FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that check and to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No call. For real. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Brando Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
DJ all the way. It's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, running back David Johnson, fresh off 100 yards on the ground a week ago. Coming up, we'll see our visitors as they get set to square off against our home team. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the London Bulldogs and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second one. Win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Londoners, they've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
out of the gun. They'll look to throw. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37.
Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
No gain on the play there, second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. And give him a gain of 37. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a reason.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Zuerlein good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. For Johnson, the numbers for his performance from last week: 20 carries, 100 yards on the nose, and a score.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now. Number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
On 2nd down, Johnson runs through the contact. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. There to make the tackle, Samson Abukum.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third.
Here we go. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Deion Jones able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up fourth down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Watch him now, Barney.
Here's Rosen to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hill. Tyreek Hill from last week. There are the numbers. Well up over 100 yards, and one of those catches found his way into the end zone.
I do think he'll be hard-pressed to duplicate those numbers this week, though, because he's gotten their attention, so they will double him on every snap at a minimum. In some cases, they'll triple him.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Rosen off the play action. And going deep for Hill. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now Bernard. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on third down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on third downs all year long. Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
That's out to Hill, right side complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Watch him now, Barney.
Now a carry for Bernard. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Green, 39!
They begin the drive with Johnson. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Johnson on the counter. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at the 23. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now back out comes the offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now it's the backup Darnold. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Throwing here on 3rd down. Darnold caught right side. Davis. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Set! Green, 39!
Now a handoff. Johnson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise...
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Yep. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Here's Bernard. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And Davis has it over the middle. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it here with Bernard. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They get it to him running left. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. Two minutes remain here in the 1st half. Back to Heinz Field after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Let's go. 319. 319. He's going to get it running right. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. There's Dante Pettis as his guys head back out onto the field. A chance maybe here for them to get. Get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
There's something to get in the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Successful start to the drive. 17 yards. It moves the sticks. They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain,
Still
but all
first
for
down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
Here we go now. 319.
Looking to throw. Screenplay, Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26.
Timeout.
And
Defense.
play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer, and put your defense in a bad spot.
They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down. Here's Darnold now on second down. Flush to his right. And he slides to avoid the hit. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's caught at the 25. A big play there just before halftime. 55 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin out in Houston, and that game tied at 7 in the second quarter. From there, we'll make the trip down to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. The Saints trying to get that record to 7-5 and stay in the thick of the race for a wild card spot. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. TJ Yeldon with a touchdown run. In our game, it was Sam Darnold who was on target in the first half. His guys have just about put this one on ice already. As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be taken about the 12. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Around the NFL, we've got a second quarter score. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Back to throw, Darnold. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Again, here's Bernard. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Darnold now to throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Darnold from the red zone now. And it's caught. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And this offense is running away with this one.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Zerline out now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes this out and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep...
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Hurry up, here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And they'll run it here. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run again with Bernard. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first down, it's Darnold. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dane Cruikshank. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. A gain of 3, second down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on third down. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Underneath for Johnson. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw here. And that's caught by Smith. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
4 down. All right, here we go.
Here's Johnson. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Tight right. Here we go now. Blue 90.
Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he
he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off down near the 5. And he is all the way up past the 25. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Darnold on first down. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle. And that's going to tack on 15 more.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Now Darnold. His throw incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver. And it's second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The offense on third down, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. That's complete right around the 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Here's Darnold. Eluding the pressure right. And did he get the feet down? No. They'll say he did not. It's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football, worked so hard to get his feet down inbounds, tried to do the toe tap. My dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really?
Yeah, that he is.
How about that? What about young Davis?
No, it did not. It did not cross.
It didn't carry over.
No, it stopped right there. He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Zerline out now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
After the interception, here's Darnold. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And this will be a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This one left side caught by Barrios. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. They'll set up to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. And just like that, it's 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And able to connect with Berrios. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
All right, here we go.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.